back to Rich Back Creations. Today we're going to make a chocolate frog out of polymer clay, and in this case we're going to make it into a fridge magnet, but you can always just use it as a display piece or make a doorknob out of it. I'll show that process in a later episode, but let's get started. First of all, you just want to start with a ball of brown polymer clay, but if you don't have brown, you can always spray paint some other color to turn it into brown. And make sure that you get a spray that has that matte finish that chocolate has. So you want to start by squeezing the clay into the beginning of a frog head. And they're pretty pointy in the end, and the head and the body is sort of triangular shaped. So it's a big behind and a pretty narrow front. So you just want to go in with your fingers and everything and just start shaping out the neck for the frog. As you can see, I've started to sculpt the neck and head on top of this lump of brown clay. And from the picture from the movie, it looks like it's looking at Harry. So I wanted to be tilted upwards, sort of looking at you or anyone. And I've begun to make this like two ridges on top as seen in the reference picture I'm looking at. And you can just use your fingers for this and just smooth out, just squeeze down in the middle and then squeeze on the sides like so, and just drag on top to smooth out the hard lines that might occur. And on the side, I should have a baking paper underneath, but on the side I'm just trying to smooth out the transition between the head and the body, so no hard folds or lines will happen. So I just have some more brown clay here, and I'm just gonna roll it out into a pretty thin sausage, but not too thin. I'm gonna spare a little bit of a thicker piece here at the top. And this looks about right. I'm just gonna rip it off and then make another one in the same shape. So right now I just want to put them next to my frog and see if I'm happy with the length. And I think it's probably a little bit too long, but that's not an issue. And then it has 3 toes in the front legs and back legs. So I just want to cut 2 indents to create the toes, like so. And I just want to start shaping them by taking them up into my hand and sort of squeeze them into sausages. And you don't want to make them too thin. They're pretty thick in the movie as well, but they're pretty long. So just want to continue like this until you're happy with how they look. You can also go ahead and use some tools if you want to, or if you have any. If you don't have tools like this and you don't want to spend money on them in the store, you can always just make them yourself. You can always just roll up a ball of clay and put it on a toothpick or something and just bake it, and then you have your tool because the clay hardens. So you can be creative. You don't have to use a lot of money on tools, but if you use them often, then maybe tools would be a good investment. So I'm just gone ahead and use this to just smooth out the in-betweens of the little toes. And I'm just gonna measure it up to the head, because I see on the picture that the head and the hand is pretty much the same size, and it looks like it pretty much fits. And I'm gonna put this to the side and create the other hand as well. So now I'm done with the legs. I'm just gonna put them to the side while I make the back legs. They're pretty much similar, just that they're longer and a little bit thicker, but pretty much the same thing. So these are the back legs, and now I'm just gonna squeeze in where the ankle, I believe it is gonna be. I see that I want to bend it there, so I'm just gonna make it a little bit thinner. And then squeeze these parts together and just move them around until I have a elbow that or whatever it is that I'm happy with. And this part I want to bend a little bit above the hand, so roughly here. And I'm just going to work it around until I have something that I'm happy with. And you just want to put it roughly like so. Just want to move it around until you're happy with the position. I think that's going to be pretty okay. Just going to squeeze off the rest of this like so. And then take my tool and begin to drag it onto the main body. I've gone ahead and attached the first front leg in a bent position. The other one I want to have a little bit stretched out because I want him to be in a fluid motion, not being static. So I'm just going to attach the leg like this. And when it's attached, I'm going to turn it upside down and do the same thing to the bottom side. It's a little bit tricky, and after you attached all the legs, you can go over and get really close and see if there's anything you want to smooth out or get nice and neat and, you know, the way you want it. So you just want to go ahead and go around and smooth things out. I'm just using my fingers because when I drag my fingers, not poking it because then you get a finger mark, but just dragging it, you get a nice smooth silky texture that will remind at least me of chocolate. While you have it upside down, you can just make a little hole or a mark that you later on Dremel out so you can put in a magnet. The first thing I'm going to do is add a ball of clay where I want the eye to be. I've already gone ahead and added the eye on the other side, like this. And I'm just going to squeeze it a little bit down just to attach it. And then I seriously think I have some house elves stealing my shit. But yeah, you want to take your tool and gently push the edge down to merge it with the rest of the frog, like this. And you just want to do that all the way around the entire eye to begin with. And then I'm going to add on some more details after that. After you've gone ahead and attached the base to the frog, you just want to take a tool or something small and start pushing a line around the eye all the way. Additionally, if you see that your eye is a little bit too big, you can always just take off a piece and then just sculpt it into a tip again, or like a eye shape. So you just want to continue around with this line around the eye. So this is pretty much the eye finished. You just want to attach the ball, smooth it out, and then make a line around so you get sort of an eyelid and an eyeball. Now I'm just going to continue on with the tool and just sort of make an indent from the eye towards the nose. So this is pretty much the finished mouth. I just went in and made a line and then smoothed the edges, and then I just squeezed it a little bit back to get a nice and tight line. Now this is ready for the oven. I'm going to bake it for 30 minutes. Probably a little bit more since it's really thick here. But that's pretty much it. And when it's done, I'll go on and glue on the magnet. The frog is now out of the oven. I'm just going to perfect this hole a little bit more so the magnet will fit perfectly. You want it to be nice and flush with the frog so that when you put it on a surface, it looks like the frog is holding on to the actual wall or refrigerator or whatever. So now I'm just going to turn on my Dremel tool and just neaten up this thing. Like so, and now I'm just going to glue it on after I've dusted the residue off. So with some super glue, I'm just going to pop this magnet right in and just let it sit until it's completely dry. The chocolate frog is now finished, the magnet is glued on, and you can now enjoy your masterpiece. I really wish it was chocolate because it looks kind of tasty, but anyways, thank you so much for watching.